For faith to be worth anything, it must be trial worthy. Only when God resolves every problem in the coming age will faith become obsolete. But what does biblical faith do in hard times? The writer of Psalm 126 helps us answer that question. His song was not written during a time of ease. Listen to verse 4. Restore our fortunes, O Lord, like streams in the Negeb. The Negeb is a desert, but it could be restored. Flash floods can suddenly fill it up with life-giving water. This is the prayer of faith. Lord, things aren't going well for us. Can you fix this? True faith always turns to God, believing that He's the only one who can help. But faith isn't a blind leap. The God believers call on has a reputation for helping. With joy, the writer recalls former restorations in verses 1 through 3. Then our mouth was filled with laughter and our tongue with shouts of joy. Isn't it so that recalling joy is powerful? Just try remembering a time when the Lord made you glad. Remember that gladness. Picture the smile on your face and the laughter of your friends or family members around you. Memories of joy are contagious. Perhaps that's why the writer who needed restoration could say, we are glad, because he's remembering. But remembering God's past restoration is more than reminiscence. It assures those for whom joy feels foreign that it is not impossible to regain it. We have all been surprised by joy. The end of the psalm is like a catechism for troubled believers. What can those who trust in the Lord expect? Is the implied question. Those who sow in tears shall reap with shouts of joy. He who goes out weeping, bearing the seeds for sowing, shall come home with shouts of joy, bringing his sheaves with him, verses 5 and 6. What if we thought about sad times as how we sow for joy? Sadness primes gladness. The fact that God breaks up grief with bursts of joy is a testimony to His great kindness. But the most important lesson of Psalm 126 is not that sometimes believers laugh, but that one day our hard journey will be over. Jesus ties His disciples' happiness to His felt presence. In Jesus' absence, His friends would weep and lament, he says in John 16:20. But Jesus will be reunited with believers. Then, he says in verse 22, your hearts will rejoice, and no one will take your joy from you. So, grieve, but not as those who have no hope, as Paul says in 1 Thessalonians 4:13. Jesus' return will forever restore believers' fortunes. Let's hear how Psalm 126 speaks these truths to us. A song of ascents. When the Lord restored the fortunes of Zion, we were like those who dream. Then our mouth was filled with laughter, and our tongue with shouts of joy. Then they said among the nations, the Lord has done great things for them. The Lord has done great things for us. We are glad. Restore our fortunes, O Lord, like streams in the Negeb. Those who sow in tears shall reap with shouts of joy. He who goes out weeping, bearing the seed for sowing, shall come home with shouts of joy, bringing his sheaves with him.